What's going on, social media? I'm glad y'all tuned in to another episode of the BHLC podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Yours truly, the host, Big Ed Light Skin Comedian. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there, whether you're here in Louisville or wherever you may be watching this podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I'm here at Mr. G's Bar and Grill here on Chevyville Road in Louisville, Kentucky. They got a great, nice comedy show tonight. Happening tonight. Let me tell you who the comedians are. It starts at 7 o'clock, so y'all come on out here. Let me see here. Like I said, it starts at 7. And here we go. Hosted by Q Smoke. You got Corey Miller, Devin Williams, and the headliner, Renard Hirsch. I've worked with him before, the headliner. Good, funny guy. All these guys are funny. Y'all come out and support them. I don't know how much the tickets are, but I'm sure that's not too much. So y'all come on out here. Plus, they got great food and great entertainment out here. I know Tuesday night they have ladies and support that. Also, I give love to Dr. Kane, Smile Center, 74 LaGrange Rose. He's a big sponsor of this podcast. Much love. He keeps me tight with these teeth. So, and also Kentucky Alternative Care. Make sure y'all support them on medical marijuana, which is legal. Get your medical marijuana card so you can go to Kentucky Alternative Care and take care of any type of pain and injuries you're going through. Also, too, let me see what I want to go to too. Yeah, this is being the month of June. It's Pride Month, so make sure you support that. Also, too, being I got a couple of things I'm gonna touch on Father's Day, me and my guests, but also too something else I want to touch on too, which I'm gonna touch on too. But my guest is Men's Mental Health Month here in June. It's my birthday tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be about 150 years old, light skin years. Y'all don't know about them light skin years. So look forward to, hopefully I'll be blessed enough to see that tomorrow, and I truly take that in stride. I'll be at the Louisville Comedy Club. I forgot about the Loan 24th. Don't laugh is to be trying to put myself and everything I'm doing with my comedy and my entertainment and everything on the map. And before I forget, I gotta talk about this. Got a big show right here in Mr. G's. Yours truly hosting, the big ass light skin comedian hosting. Okay, y'all come out and support this. It's August the 22nd, 8 o'clock. You got advance tickets, and you got You got advance tickets. Also, you can pay at the door, sell out. I'm hosting, but here are the comedians on that show August 22nd. We're gonna have a blast. I'm telling you, I'm all about fun. So if you about fun and laughter, you need to come to the show. And at $15, you can't beat that. And the drinks are cheap here, the food's good. And like I said, some of these comedians are very funny. Now come check out the comedy styles of Holly Kennedy. Come check out the comedy styles of Caroline Hutchinson, Roger, Berger Colbert, very funny comedian. My guy James Ferguson, very funny comedian, and one and only, truly only, much love to my brother, truly my brother, she's the comedian. Now come out and check us out. Here it is right here. I got to put this. Let me see if I see. They got my big head in the corner because we took up all the flyer. But y'all come check it out. This August 22nd at 8 o'clock. Doors open 7. Okay, I think I just about covered everything. Before I bring my guests in, I got to show him some love here. He does a lot of things on social media. He used to write for a magazine here in Louisville. Just a very good guy. He's a follow-up guest. Basically, I'm doing a lot of follow-up guests. He was a great guest. I had him on here about 3 or 4 years ago. Just a great guy, great person. And just love to hear him speak and talk about some of the things going on in the community as well, just going on in life. So, but like I said, I'm doing a lot of follow-up guests, and I've had some great guests in the past. So, like I said, he was on here 4 years ago. But so I'm waiting on him to chime in. Let me see. See if I can. I think it's about it. I probably said, I know what he's doing. Let me go ahead and get him in here. So. So I'm just waiting on him to come in here. Like I said, it's a beautiful day, and there's so much going on in the world today. Just make sure you keep working on self. Keep working on self, because that's what's gonna get you there. So, okay, my guy's finally here. He's in here. He's busy like me. He's in the car. Y'all give it up for my good friend Brad Harrison. Y'all give it up for him. What's up, Brad?
What's going on, my man?
Man, I told myself I had to have you as a guest. I'm doing a lot of my follow-up guests, and you was one of my greatest guests I had. And I definitely had to bring you back in here to talk to the people about everything that's going on in general in life and the community. And I was telling him how you used to write for a magazine. I don't know if you're still writing. And I gave him a light resume of you. But if you want to enlighten them a little more, you're more than welcome to. Good to see you too, King.
It's all good, man. Good to see you, my man. Yep. My name is Brad Harrison. Yep. When I haven't been writing as of recently, but I'm a journalist by trade. I have a bachelor's degree in mass communications and journalism. Yeah, I used to do it, man. I started off doing a lot of writing about positive Black influences in our community, and kind of the reason behind that was that, as we all know, for a lot of times when Black people were portrayed in the media, it's always for something negative. So I wanted to paint a different picture of Black people, let the world know that we all aren't just that, right? But yeah, man, I need to get back into that, man. I haven't done it in a while. I'm out. You see me? I'm out now, man. I started this. I started this medical courier business a few years ago, man, and it kind of took off so fast and got so lucrative that I kind of put the journalism to the side for a minute. But yep, it's all good.
That's good, man. Man, that is so great, man. I'm glad to hear that your business is doing great and everything's going. I'm here at Mr. G's, and they got a comedy show here tonight. It starts at 7. So if you hear a little music in the background, just don't pay attention to it. If you want to dance to it, it's up to you. But I mean, so it's all good. But yeah, that's great, man. And speaking on that, you talking about you being a writer and just talking about things in the community. I wanted to talk a little bit about this, and I know you know about it. Let me put this on there if I can. I want to talk a little bit about this Carmelo Anthony trial. And and I'm gonna give you, Mike, a little quick insight and then let you speak on it here, because I'm just gonna give you a quick insight that a friend of mine that I had on this podcast last month put on his page, and something I didn't know. It's back to knowing your heritage and your culture. You know, with that said, even on this trial, and it was a kid named George Stanley Jr. back in 1944 got wrongly convicted of doing something to 2 white girls, murdering 2 white girls, and they didn't unconvict him until all the way to I think 2000 or 1990 something. So you see where I'm going with this. A lot of people don't even know about it. This was back in 1944. So, but I know you got some people out there on social media say, well, this may not be a racial thing. And I'm like, okay, but it's still, even if, I'm going to say hypothetically, let's say it's not a racial thing, but it's a human being thing to me. I don't know about everybody else, but it's a human being thing to me. So I can understand you saying it, because somebody was saying, well, what if it was just 2 black guys or just 2 white guys, so would anybody be all in uproar? So, but how you feel about that, though?
Okay, look, it's funny you say that, because me and my wife were just talking about this morning, right? Okay. And it made me, it makes me want to get back into journalism, right? And the reason I say that is because that's my, my field. I follow things very closely, right? Mm-hmm. Man, listen, 90% of the information about this case on the media is misinformation. So when I look at it, I'm like, a lot of people don't even know the details of the case, right? So I actually listened to, I followed the case, and then there's a reporter I follow that was actually in the courtroom for the trial, and he was tweeting out, what each witness was testified to on a stand, right? So
okay.
Let me get to some of the misinformation. So some of the misinformation is that Carmelo Anthony had a cleat tool or something like that, right? No, he had a knife, but that doesn't matter. But he had a pocket knife in his bag, right? Okay. Some more misinformation that I've heard from other people was that when Carmelo Anthony was approached, he left the scene and got a knife and came back. That's incorrect as well, right? Yeah. So let me tell you what I gather what happened. So at these track meets, they have these tents set up for each particular team or each particular school at the track meet. And the tent is set up over I thought it was like a tent that you have on the grass, but it's not. It's a tent that covers the bleachers. So they were under these tents on the bleachers. So the week before, Carmelo was in this other school's tent because he knows some guys from that other school, right? So white guys from other school, well, a mixed guy from the other school. So he was in there. The guy he stabbed wasn't there because he was suspended from school for whatever. I don't know what he was suspended for. But what I got from a lot of the witnesses are that I don't want to call him a bully, but the two white dudes were six. One guy was 6'1", 210 pounds, football player. He was kind of the cool guy that kind of gave off the bullyist vibe, right? So anyway, they're at this track meet the next week. The mixed guy is raining, so they got the tent up. The mixed guy from that school invites Carmelo into the tent. Carmelo's under the tent. He's chilling under the tent. They all friends. They're talking. At some point, the two brothers come in, who I call the bullies. They come in. They ask Carmelo to leave the tent. Apparently, there's a thing called tent culture when you're in track and field that only particular schools want, their teammates under tent. So Carmelo responds, and this is all testimony I'm giving you. Carmelo responds to him and says, "Look, nobody else has a problem with me under this tent except for you." So words go back and forth. The white guy tells him, "I'm going to remove you from the tent." They started cussing at each other, but Carmelo's sitting down. He's on the bleachers sitting down. The guy he ends up stabbing, he's below him, 5 rows below him on the bleachers. He gets up, comes up 5 rows in Carmelo's face. Carmelo never stood up. He's still sitting down. A couple other guys are telling him, "Man, just go ahead and leave before it turns to a big thing." But I guess Carmelo's standing his ground, so words go back and forth, but he's still seated. So the guy who got stabbed is telling Carmelo, "I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." And Carmelo says several times, "Touch me and find out. Like, I got something in my bag. Touch me and find out." Well, the kids were saying that testified, they all didn't think he had anything in his bag. You know what I'm saying? They thought he was bluffing or whatever.
No.
Right. So the dude gets in his face. He grabs Carmelo. He puts his hands on both his shoulders and tries to push him out of his seat at the bleacher, right? Now, other kids testified that it wasn't a hard push, but regardless, he put his hands on his shoulders and tried to move him, right? Instantly, Carmelo stood up, pulled a knife out, and stabbed him. And, I get, okay, so give it some context. The guy's 6'1", football player, 210. Carmelo Anthony's 5'6", 145 pounds. I can see it both ways. You know what I mean? I can say maybe I would have stood up and fought him. That's me, though. You know what I mean? I would have stood up and it'd been a fist fight. Somebody else may have felt intimidated and might have wanted to use a weapon. Regardless, I don't think this was first-degree murder. I don't think he should have received 35 years. My view is once you close the gap, meaning you came up 5 rows on the bleachers and got in my face and put your hands on me, it's all, you know what I mean? But also, listen to the testimony. Man, look, the family, they messed up. They hired an attorney from that city, and I'm listening to the testimony. I'm like, why he didn't object here? Why he didn't object there? He was letting the prosecution and the witnesses paint the narrative, and he didn't put up hardly any fight at all. And it just seems like the attorney from that town, the prosecutor, everybody was on the same side. What it signifies. Yeah, they're all friends, man. This is a little small town of 20,000 people. You know what I mean? And even the students that testified, they told the truth about the guy approaching Carmelo, but they still felt like Carmelo shouldn't have stabbed him. You know what I mean? Everybody's kind of on this other guy's. These are all people that grew up in this affluent community. Carmelo's family just moved there a couple years ago. He's the odd black kid, and just I don't feel like they fought for him. I feel like he was railroaded.
Yeah, and you know what? You right on it. And if everything's true, what you said, because there's his side, her side, and the truth. I always tell people when you're doing when something happens like that. And with that said, more than anything, I tell people all the time. Now, if this would have happened, let me hear me out. If this would have happened 20, 30 years ago when we was coming up, we probably just would have fought and that been it. But nowadays, these kids' mentality is a little different. It's nothing to take away from them, but it's just the perspective we living in nowadays with these kids. They mindset is totally different on far as protecting them.
Yeah. We still there?
themselves. And I get that, especially the smaller kids by the state of Texas or prosecutors, whatever. But who knows what goes on behind the scenes? I tell people it was something, and especially with Father's Days coming. I got to say this. My father used to always tell me. He said, "Do not believe anything you see or hear in the media." He said, because there's always another story. There's another narrative. He said, but they want you to believe what they put out there because it's them putting it out there. That's like if you tell me something right now that something that happened 2 weeks ago somewhere, and then somebody else come tell me, I'm like, well, oh, that's a different story from what Brad told me, So I tell people all the time. So you have to understand that when you seeing this on media, because it's media and it says this big media everything, you think that's the truth. That's just the truth, you think. But it's not always like that. And you got a good point what you said there, because if he was messing with this kid, and there's a lot of bullying going on. Let's talk about the bullying. Who knows? We don't know. It's not bullying going on. Maybe he just had enough. We didn't get into that part of it. Maybe the person had enough, because you see it all the time here in Louisville and in schools and stuff. Kids getting bullied nowadays. So it's just a whole lot with this. And I just wish it wasn't in a small port of Texas. And I think he got railroaded. Now, should he have been penalized for something? Yes. But 35 years? Come on, man. What we doing?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
And we've seen this. Look, we've seen this played out on the other side, right? Like we can say, George Zimmerman, or we see these other cases, right? Where let's reverse the roles, right? Say a 6'1" black dude with his friends approaches a 5'6" white boy, and then the white boy stabs him, whatever, right? They're gonna paint the picture like this thug intimidated this poor little white kid, and the world is gonna see why he responded that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even when I was telling my wife this morning, I said, look at even Mike Brown that happened in Missouri a few years ago. You remember when the police officer shot Mike Brown because he said Mike Brown charged him with no weapon. You know what I mean? He charged him, and that was deemed to be the officer was justified in shooting at someone charging you. So who's to say Carmelo didn't feel his life was in danger? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel he had a great argument for self-defense. You know what I mean?
He definitely did. He had a great argument for self-defense. It's just, I think it's not only how it happened, it's when it happened and what happened. That's a lot of times I tell people how, when, and where is a deep, some serious words, and I tell people that. So, with that said, man, and I knew the comparison was going to come up soon as his sentence came out, and the other guy, the white guy, got 10 years, whatever it was. He didn't get nothing, probation, whatever. And I understand comparison, compare and contrast. I get all that, apples to oranges. I get all that. But at the end of the day, I tell people, and you, like I said, you made a valid point talking about the attorney. Maybe his family should got a better attorney. I don't know if they had enough money to get a better attorney, but you and I both know if you got a lot of money, you can get a great attorney. You can get out a lot of stuff. I don't care what you've done. So I'm just being honest about that part of it. So, but that trial there, oh my God, and it makes me think about what just happened here in Louisville when. Him, and he didn't have nothing on him. You see where they shot that one guy here in Louisville, he didn't have nothing on him, and the chief of police went ahead on and suspended and fired the police officer because that could have been avoided. And here's I don't understand why they don't use their tasers too. That's nothing I want to get into. I'm like, why have something and don't use it? You got a chair and you don't never use it in your house. I'm just saying, use it. Sit in it. What we doing? I mean, if you got a taser, use it. Now I can see if you. Now, there are some people that are drugged up so heavily where they can run through a taser. I get all that. But you didn't even try it. And a lot of you didn't try it.
And the man was naked. And he was naked.
And that's what makes it he didn't have nothing. His butthole naked. It makes it he didn't have nothing on. But I'm gonna tell you something else. A comedian friend of mine, Tyra Crush Cooley, she said in this podcast 4 or 5 years ago, I never forget her saying that. She said, "Love, you got to think of it like this." She said, when these young men, big or small, and she said, especially small ones, they go through all this training, especially the white guys. If they like 5'5", only weigh 145, and all of a sudden they facing some guy, black or white, that's 280 pounds, 6'6", in the middle of the night, how are they going to react? Are they going to react where they're going to shoot a taser? Are they going to think, I'm just going to fire because he's bigger than me? See, so it makes me think of sometimes about the training too, So a lot of times they just and they just pull that trigger. They get trigger and pull the gun out. So I just, man, it's just, oh my God. I just think it was so, And I think about that kid losing his whole life all because, he was defending himself, So, and I hate that he stabbed him.
And like they couldn't portray him as they like to portray this thug image or gangster image. Man, this kid was a 3.7 grade point average student. He wasn't he wasn't a street kid or nothing. Yeah.
And that's what gets me. A lot about young kings are they scholars. Just sometimes you take the wrong direction, do something wrong, make a wrong decision in the heat of the moment. Like I tell my kids, my kids out there, I've told them before, think before you react. Because if you're not thinking, it can really hurt you, and you really wish you would have think. So you got to think before you react, because it can really cost you. And a lot of these young kids don't have it. And a lot of kids don't even have their parents tell them, because the upbringing's been, we don't know what his upbringing's been. That's another thing I tell them. So you just don't know. So I just thought that coming out of the trail. Oh my God, it really touched me, because I think about the kids and everything that here and stuff. So it just really touched me, man. Let me do this here. Well, hold on. Oh man. Here's another. Well, we'll go and talk about this, and I know you're probably big on it. I've been talking about Men's Mental Health Month. This is Men's Mental Health Month. I said something on stage. I'm gonna go and say it over here. Because I like to keep you gotta laugh at some stuff that goes on. They got Men's Mental Health Month. I get it, the month of June. Not only that, you got the Men's Mental Health, also you got Pride Month mixed together. So I don't know if I'm this way or that. What we doing now? How we get them two together in the same month? I just like to know. It's just like my birthday's tomorrow. My birthday's same day as Trump. I feel like I got orange hair and I don't know nothing now.
Well, happy birthday, my man.
But men's mental health is really, I think a lot of times we just sweep it under the carpet, because we're always thinking about our queens and other people. We just, men's mental health sometimes just swept under the rug. And we need to get back to that, and everything we talk about is, I tell people, it's not always about race. It's just all about the human being. There's a man out there right now dealing with it mentally, he just needs somebody to talk to. I need to be reassured, And I tell people all the time, check up on your people you're real close to. And I know some people don't talk to everybody now. Everybody don't talk to everybody. It might be because of 2020, but a lot of people it's cold. People don't talk. But if you got somebody you cool with, you used to talk to them, let them know it's going to be all right. I've had one or two of my friends call me in the heat of the moment, and I was there for them, because I don't ever know when I'm going to need them, Brad. But how do you feel about that?
Look, it's like, man, everything you're talking about is things that I'm gonna let you in on something, and I haven't told anybody this yet. Okay. So this morning, my friend, my old radio show co-host Sean Mucker, we were talking this morning, right? Okay. So, man, look, we were talking about this particular issue. So this is our next venture that we're gonna launch before the end of the summer, within the next few months or whatever. Okay. So we're gonna start this initiative, this program, as soon as we find a venue. Once a week, we're going to have a meeting place for fathers and sons, right? And one of the stipulations is you have to bring your son, right? So what I want to do is there's a lot of black men are being raised out here in single parent homes with just a mom, right? And a lot of, for whatever reason, I don't even care. I'm not even going to judge the reason or judge the person, but for whatever reason, a lot of these men are not in their kids' lives, or if they are in their sons' lives, they don't have a connection with them, right? So we're going to bring an event together once a week. It's going to be a free event. You come in, whether it's a movie night, a food night, or whatever. We're going to feed you. We're going to bring you in, have a few counselors in there to advise you on how to get a better relationship, with your son or whatever. But I want these two men to be in the room together. Well, starting with maybe middle school age boys. Bring them in up to high school. Bring them in, father and son, and give them a time to learn how to bond together and learn how to move forward. And hopefully this will be a step in getting men in some of the lives of the children that they may not be in as much. And the reason I say that is sometimes, man, look, we just don't know how to do it, right? I had to learn that. So say, for example, I grew up rough in the hood, right? So I had to learn how to fight every day. I used to fight all the time. I had to be tough. That was the thing, right? Well, when I raised my son was raised in a totally different environment. So in the beginning, I'm trying to raise him the way I was raised, and we had some pushback. He's like, Dad, that ain't my life. You know what I mean? Right. Like, he didn't have to fight every day to go to school or to get to the store or whatever. So a lot of times we don't even know that, and we're just implementing what we are experiencing on our kids, and sometimes that may push you further away from your son than it, as opposed to bringing y'all together. So hopefully we're going to try to get these two men in the same room work on some mental health issues. Because sometimes a man might be dealing with some stresses in his life that may affect his parenting. And his mental health may not be in the best place where, like, for example, some men only know how to discipline, yell, holler, scream, and they don't know how to praise as well. You know what I mean? So, so that's my next initiative, man, is that.
Man, that you on point with something, because I've been wanting to do this for long. So I was talking to this guy at work about it. Now that I'm retired, I ain't got a chance to talk to him as much. But we had already talked about it. Here's what I wanted to do. And I seen it on a TV show. I'm not going to talk about the TV show I seen on. You probably watch it, called The Shy. But anyway, I'm going to tell you, man, this what I'm talking about is really powerful for us men that I'm going to say at least 30 or 40 and over. I want to do something where we meet once a month. This was on The Shy, once a month. And when you come into the door, to that table, whether it's 5, 10 of y'all, we all together, there's no judgment. Whatever you're going through stays in that room and never leaves that room. And that's what The Shy had. What these all of them was men that were parents, girlfriends, whatever, wives, and they would always meet once a month, about 5 or 10 of them. And they talk about their problems. I mean, well, my wife is doing this, or she's messing with this guy. But they left everything they was said in that room was left. And the reason why they done is because what you just said. We was raised in a different time and era. So now we have to when you get another person's perspective and you look at this person talk about it, you're like, well, shoot, I'm going through the same thing. You feel better sitting there and say, okay, this father's going through the same thing I'm in. This black man, this man right here is going through the same thing. You feel better, knowing it's going to stay there too, and you can get it off your chest. And every time when they left her, they felt totally different by the time they got home, and they significant others, they didn't have any food with them on. They're like, okay, go, because I know you do that once a month, and you do that, and y'all leave it all there, and that's great. And I think that's where it needs to start, because he's fathers of the kids, and it's if they got fathers in their life, like you said. I know some of them got single home mothers. That's what started getting them focused. Well, okay, I was doing this wrong. Maybe I need to go this direction, because we live in different times. That's what I would like to do. And I don't know. It's something I really want to do, and I'm eventually probably do it. But I want to do it where we all just meet 10. It can be 15 of us. I don't care, but it stays in their room. Everything we talk about, because I want you to be a better man when you leave out of there. It's not a psychiatry thing, like you like talking to psychiatrist. You're just talking about your problems. Because man, so. But the father got to be right.
Look, even physical health, right? So, like, recently, over the past year and a half, man, I was 268, and now I'm down to 220, right? Okay. So I'm on a weight loss journey. I'm trying to get in shape or whatever, right? And being me, I'm 53 years old, right? Okay. So I had to talk with my doctor, and I'm talking with my doctor, and my doctor encouraged the weight loss, exercise, and the most important thing was changing diet, right? And a lot of men don't even know. Look, when you change in diet, especially when you get to our age, or the age I am now, right? You may think, say I went through a period, man, about a year ago, right, where in my unit down there, right, I'm at 70% instead of 100. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, oh Lord, the age is getting to me, whatever, right? But when I changed my diet and started exercising, it came back. And a lot of men don't know that, and maybe even embarrassed to talk about it. You know what I mean? And they don't realize some of these things you put in your body may contribute to your health, even your mental health. You know what I mean? So
you're right, though. You're right on it. But as men, I mean, when have you seen two men talk about going to the doctor? Let me just put it like that. Never. It's the last thing I ain't going until I actually have to go, because you're shutting down. We don't talk, and that's something I had to get out of because I'm older too now. I said, you know what? Now I need to go see my doctor regularly 2 or 3 times a year. So can't nothing sneak up on me. And I know how to eat. I know how to do this. I know how to do it. Because if you don't, by the time it sneak up on you, it's almost too late. It's not, but I know it's good medicine out there, but it's almost too late. But that's something too. That's something that's too. We could talk about as men when we all meet at one time. Making sure we take care of our health first and foremost, because you got to have your health right in order to be mentally right. I tell people all the time, you got to have your health right. I thought I was eating right at one time years ago. I'm like, hold on, I'm not eating right. No, I got to eat better. No, I'm not. I thought I was, and once I started eating better, I felt better all the way down, like you said. So, but a lot of times it can be the smallest thing, but until you actually start working on it, But we do not. We got as men, we got to go to the doctors. I know they don't. So a lot of men do not like going to the doctor. But you got to go. You got, especially if you get 50 over, 40 or 50 over. I don't care which, you got to go, because it's going to hit you. Law of gravity is never lost.
we start seeing people that we grew up with dying suddenly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of it is because they weren't getting those checkups, and when they find out something's wrong, when they start feeling it in their body, they get the symptoms, it might be too late.
Yeah, it's too late. And I had a guy at work, he hadn't went to the doctor in 20 years, and he almost stroked out at work. And he was off work for a while, but he's straight now. But you 20 years, Brad, 20, 30 years, come on, what we doing? And here's the thing that pisses me off about you got insurance.
Yeah, all right. Blood pressure sky high. You know what I mean? You don't even know it. You can stroke out.
Man, 500 over death. You hear me? I'm telling you, man. I'm like, man, and he's a guy too, man. I was like, man, but I'm just glad he's all right, because I'm like, man, yo, you got to go. I remember one time he asked me, well, who's your doctor? This was some years ago. And I was telling him my doctor. I said, I could turn you on. He said, no, I'm good. I'm just trying to figure out. He still didn't go in. He just waited till they hit him. And next thing you know, he almost clocked out of here. So, and I help any brother. They need a doctor or whatever the case. I try to help you if I can, send you in the right direction. It's all type of stuff out here that will help you as far as getting your health right and if you need insurance. So there's no reason for you not to check on your own health. There's none. None. So, and our queens are honest about that. I know my wife got on me about it, and that's probably why I'm in this same day. And I know you married now, and I'm sure your
same thing.
So that's what, but I'm glad because I need that person. I tell people because I'm not going to always be right about everything. And I'm fine with that. Yeah. As much as my wife tells me, yeah, you always think you're right. I'm like, nah, I think I'm right because I'm with you. That's all. Long story short. I just know that, I need somebody to tell me what right direction to go in, and as men, sometimes we stubborn. We don't want to do it. We don't want to do this and do that. But once you start doing it, I told a friend of mine, so one time I said, man, the thing you think is not the best thing for you come out to be the best thing for you ever you've done in your life.
It will. Yeah.
So, but I'm telling you, man, and it's men's mental health. It is nothing to play with. You have to. I'm gonna go to some little fun here. Did you watch the Kevin Hart roast?
I didn't watch it, man. I didn't.
Know what happened, right?
I heard about what happened.
Okay. What do you think about it before I comment on it?
Okay, so let me tell you what I heard. So I heard, and I'm familiar with the comedian that made the jokes, right? So I know what he does, right? So and that's what he does, right? But
and it's a roast too.
It's a roast, right? Okay. So I heard everything was cool. I heard people didn't like the Mike Brown joke. I mean, George Floyd joke, right? The George Floyd joke.
Right.
It's a sensitive topic. You know what I'm saying? It's a sensitive topic. I don't know. I didn't hear the joke, so I don't even know the context of the joke. But I know people just didn't like him joking about that period. Right. But it was I don't know, man. It was a roast. Look. I like comedy, right? So I think in comedy, I think comedy is one of those spaces where it shouldn't have boundaries. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I didn't hear the joke, but I don't like people putting a boundary on comedy, is what I'm saying. So
I don't either. Let me just say that I'm gonna give you a little insight, just a little bit of insight from being a stand-up comedian and from a stand-up comedian who talked about this, and I've met her before, Cheryl Underwood. They was talking to Cheryl Underwood because Tony Hinchcliffe said some jokes about her husband, committing suicide. But here's the thing. He talked to her about that and told her that he was gonna say something to that nature about it, and she was cool with it. She had no problem with it because she knows it's a roast. Like Kevin Hart said, everybody knew the assignment, so she had no problem with it. Now, Tony Hinchcliffe, him saying that joke, it is sensitive to the Floyd family. I get that. But you got to understand, I tell people, that's like when you go to a comedy show. You go to a comedy show to laugh. You know it's going to be all laugh. You cannot take nothing personal. It's just all straight laughs. Just like when you go to a roast, it's straight laugh. If you don't want to see that roast on Netflix, guess what? Don't watch it. Don't watch it. If you're sensitive, do not watch it. Okay, because it's a roast. It's gonna get serious. Like when Kevin Hart told Tom Brady, we're gonna roast your ass. You're gonna feel bad after this. But he understood the assignment. So, but that's just part of it. And people, they want to laugh, but then you want to critique laughing. You can't critique laughing. Funny's funny. And so
let me ask you this. Not to cut you off. Let me ask you this. Has comedy changed now with the social media era? Because things before that could be said in a comedy show. Now, when it hits social media, it takes on a whole new, and everybody's weighing in on it. And the social media is social media. You know what I mean? So, I give people an example. If you look at social media, people will say Jay-Z is the most hated man in America, right? But when he announced his show last week, there were 160,000 people in the kiosk waiting to buy tickets. So sometimes social media is not reality. You know what I mean? So
and the thing with social media, I tell everybody, and let me go with your first question about it's tougher for a comedian now because you have social media. Because somebody got a phone right up in your face when you're on, it's tougher critiquing everything you do. So it is a little tougher for a comedian, but they don't. If you're a comedian, you can get through that, you know. But it is a little tough because back then there wasn't no phones. You just say what you want to say at the show, and everybody laugh. You know what I'm saying? And it really wasn't streaming on TV like it is now. You can say things and get away with it. But now we so critical and we so quick to critique all the comedians instead of laughing. It's about laughing first more than anything. You have to laugh to enjoy it. And I just think people need to stop critiquing comedians like that. Now back to this George Floyd thing. Yeah, there was probably one joke that was very edgy. You always got a joke that's edgy and it's right there on the line. But if it's funny, it's funny, it's funny. But it was there for the edge because he was saying where Floyd couldn't breathe no more up in heaven or whatever. And the Floyd family, they took it, but it's a roast. And I just hate to say it, but so as a comedian, I'm all about the joke. I'm all about getting the joke out there, whatever. So I'm not going to judge nobody in the jokes because it's not easy being up on stage throwing jokes at people or doing your stand-up and doing your material and make people laugh. It's not an easy gig. It really ain't. And I tell people all the time, that's what's the matter with, I think a lot of times with the young comedians, the ones who just starting out, they trying to figure out everything, but social media is so hard on them. It's hard to figure it out. When I was coming up, I didn't have to worry about social media. All I did was after I got off stage, I went back there and talked to this guy named Britt, and he would tell me what I did right and what I did wrong, gave him my tape, and that was it. When I was trying to make it, you know what I'm saying? So so I said, hey, you know, so it is tough as a comedian. But I said, enjoy laughter, because I feel like laughter is one of the things God put on this earth for us to do. I really do. I feel like laughter, and you're supposed to laugh. You really are. And I still commend Kevin Hart on doing it. I know a lot of people don't like Kevin Hart. I know Cat Williams came in there and they hugged and squashed their beef or whatever. And whether it was staged or not, I thought that was great. But it's sad to me that when you got comedians got beef with each other, not gonna stand rappers and singers and all that. But then comedians, come on, man, we telling jokes. How are we gonna have beef with each other? But that happens. I could tell you one time where I was going to do a show. I forgot where it was at. And the night before, this person got the other person so drunk where they was too drunk to make their stage, get up there and do their performance and do their stage time. He got there real late. He got him so drunk, but he did it purposely. That was stuff that was going on back in the 90s. So, versus today, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, but that Kevin Hart roast, I thought it was great. And if you ever see, just watch it, you'll like it. Like I said, if you want to laugh, not judge and critique. I need people to critique. Like, how are you gonna critique laugh? I mean, we just nowadays, you know.
I'm gonna watch it because I like edgy comedy, right? So you know, like I grew up watching Andrew Dice Clay, and one of my favorite comedians, my wife can't stand it. One of my favorite comedians, Corey Holcomb. She can't stand Corey Holcomb.
He's real and he's edgy, but I like Corey Holcomb. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's real. When I like, and that's why I'm just real. I'm going to say what's real, and it's just when I love comedians that are real, you know. But everybody's going. And look, this is what I wanted to say too. And this was said a long time ago by Ice Cube, and I think it was even in the movie they made. Ice Cube made with NWA and all that. He says long time, and I didn't understand it back in the 90s, but I'm like, oh, I get it today. He said exactly what he said. It was him or Eazy, but I think it was Cube. Cube said, he said, just because you get negative publicity don't mean it's not bad publicity. It's still good publicity because they're going to know who you are.
Yeah. They're still talking about it.
He said this in the 90s.
They're still talking about
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I tell people, you know, and that's why you see a lot of these people are clout chasing any type of way. They don't mind the negative publicity on social media. Like, now they know who I am. You know, you see people all the time trying everything, you know, try to go viral on a video. So, and but they don't have no talent. But, you know, when it all comes out and said and done, you got to have some talent. You got internet comedians. Yeah, they nice. But when you get them on stage in front of 100 people, they ain't funny because they don't used to be on the internet.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's just where it is. What was I going to talk about here? I had one more thing I wanted to talk about. And I know I know last time I talked to you, you was in the stage of you're ready to get married. There was some things you were still working on. And I got to ask now, we're going to with this with family and Father's Day, but family. I remember you was telling me it was things you was getting used to as far as being married. And I think, remember one of them was, like I said, but you were my follow-up guest, was getting used to putting this ring on and leaving it on. I told my wife, so what, if I don't wear the ring, that means I'm not married. She said, nah, I just want you to, so when you look at it, you be at least thinking about me. If you're going to do something, you might not do it. I said, oh, now we're going there. So, but it's supposed to be a symbol of love. I get all that, I said, but at the end of the day, it's still a decision whether you're going to do right by your wife or not, So, but I love my family. I love my wife. So I'm always a big family person. How you feel about family, though?
Man, family. I love family. I love being married. I love family. Let me tell you. Let me get to this ring thing right quick. Look, when I first got married, I never had a ring on my finger, right? So I didn't know. And man, shout out to my wife because she put up with it for a minute. But I would take it off every night just because I wasn't used to having a ring on my finger. I'd take it off and put it on in the morning, whatever, right? And during that first few months, a couple of days, I forget to put it on or whatever, right? She didn't like it, but she dealt with it, right? And but she didn't like it, man. But I put it on, man. Yeah. So after that first month or so, man, I don't think that ring has ever been off his finger again.
I mean, I was in the same mode. I did the same thing, bro. And still up to this day, every now and then, I take my ring off at night before I go to bed and I put it on in the morning. But it's been times I may forget to put it on in the morning, every blue moon, when I'm going to go store something. And my wife, by the time I get home, I see that ring's over on your nightstand still. I'm like,
they don't like that.
I didn't know you have a location on my damn ring, like my phone. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know we was doing all that. Okay. So, but I understand it. I understand what's behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I get it. It's just a symbol of us being together and all that. I get all that, but it's just, I guess it's just the small things. Like I told my wife, I said, I don't need this ring to show you the symbol of my love. Yeah. I said, it just shows you to keep the thirsty chicks off. I said, but I don't need the ring. I know I'm going to make the right decision because I love you. So the ring is just a symbolization. So it's like somebody wearing a cross. They don't mean they're a Christian. They just like wearing a cross. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
But look, I'm a big family guy, man. I think family is extremely important. Look, I was just talking about this with my wife too. But listen, I know you've noticed, like I've noticed, a lot of women now complain about the quality of men. So these men ain't this, these men ain't that. They don't, and I noticed it too, right? Now, see, I was just a hard-headed one in my family, but that's not. Man, look, everyone in my family on both sides, mother and father, right? Everyone my family has been married forever. You know, my uncles been my uncles and my aunties since I was a kid. They all been married 40, 50, 60 years. My grandparents were married. My mother and father were. Everybody I knew were married, right? I was the odd person that, thought I was a playboy or whatever. But I'm used to a family dynamic, right? So I didn't realize a lot of people weren't. You know what I mean? 'Cause I was raised by my father. So I didn't realize a lot of people weren't, right? So, man, there's a lot of young people I bump into now. Say, for example, can't change a tire, don't know how to work in the yard. They'll call me and ask to do this and that. And it's strange to me, right? And I'm like, you a young man and don't know how to whatever, right? But I was just talking to my wife about this, and I was like, this is family stuff, right? So I'm like, look how when I realized how the cycle of people that grown up have been raised in single parent homes, right? It's not the kid's fault or anybody's fault for that matter. I'm just showing you the dynamics of it, right? So say, for example, I know how to do these things because I was raised with my father and grandfather that from an early age, hey, boy, got there and get the yard or the grass, the responsibility is yours, or wash the car, whatever, right? Well, when you have children that were raised in a home that didn't have that, right? Some of these mothers were raised without a father in their home, right? So it's not second nature to them to tell a young boy how to be a man. So they don't understand it. A lot of say you have a single mother, the mother that was raised in a home without her father, right? When she has a boy and she's a single parent, she don't even know to tell him like, hey, the yard is yours. They end up doing things for him. And then this child is raised as a child that really don't know how to be a man. You know what I mean? And we like, why he don't learn it? Because his mom didn't show him, but she didn't know how to do it because she was raised in a home without a father. So she never seen a father fix the car or you know what I mean, or provide for the mom or whatever. So it becomes this cycle that we don't even realize we're doing when we get away from that family dynamic.
And you're right. You know what? This is why I want to say on that, because I'm going to put this up here. Is because, check this out. I had to change my dynamic of thinking from the way I was raised, like you said, cutting the grass on Saturday mornings, all that. because we're in a different time and culture. I had to change my dynamic, but the perspective was still there. It's trying to figure out how to but get my son to understand this, and that is important. And he realizes it now how important them things are, and to have somebody, have his father in his life to teach him these different dynamics. Like you said, doing things for the car. It just have to do it in a different way now compared to the way it was then. We kind of did the old school way. Our parents did the old school way. Well, it's just different, and we just have to approach it in a different angle. And a lot of times, these young men just need some guidance, whether it's their father or not their father in their life, or their uncle or whoever it may be, to tell them, look, this is the way you do that. Pull them to the side. I've pulled young men.
Or just to even see it. And some of them don't even see it. See a man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And change thinking up. What's up, Devin? Change up the dynamics of it, And I had to change my thinking up in order for him to get through some things and in order to be focused on things. And it just surprised me now, Brad, because now, oh man, my son is just leaps and bounds just out there doing what he's supposed to do. I'm like, well, he was listening. It's like I told a comedian friend, man, he got a couple of kids. He said, man, he was telling me one day at work, he said, man, hey, these kids, they don't be listening. They don't listen to me, loves. I said, listen to me. I said, I'm going to tell you this one time and understand me real good. I said, even when you don't think they listen, still tell them and show them. I said, eventually they'll get it. It might be 10, 5 years from now. They'll be like, I mean, when Daddy showed me this. I mean, when Daddy said this. Even though you don't think they listen, still tell them. There's times my son's like, Dad, I remember you told me that 3 years ago. And that makes me feel proud as a father. Because all my job is to guide you and tell you. Now, if I ain't guiding and telling someone else getting hold of them, that's a problem, But that's it. That's all you can do as a parent. And hopefully you guide and tell them the right things in the right direction. So, but that made me feel good because I'm like, he was listening. And that's why I kept on telling him. I didn't give him time. I didn't think he was listening. I still told him. And it came out beautiful, man. So
look, and look, tell parents, look, don't take it personal, right? I tell every parent this. Between the age of probably 13, 14, and 17, the aliens come and get them. You do not know who these kids are. You don't know who these kids are. You didn't raise them thinking this way. The aliens come and get them.
I mean, the worst thing we could see on TV back then was Scared Straight. I probably tell them my age. I don't know if you remember that, Scared Straight. It's just things. I mean, and my father took me, showed me some things he didn't want me to do. So that's why he showed it to me. With Father's Day, first and foremost, hope you have a happy Father's Day. Much Father's Day love to you.
Same to you, my man.
Yeah, man. It's really, I'm going to my father's grave next Saturday, me and my sister. So, because I wouldn't be sitting in this seat if it wasn't for him and my mother. So, I can sit here and say that honestly. So, and I feel good about saying it because I'm blessed to have two parents in my life. Now, I know some people don't have two parents in their life, but if you got somebody in your life, you need to brace them. They trying to guide you, and that's out there to all the young men. Brace them and guide them. Or go to uncle. Back in, I had to go back to old school. We had uncles be like, hey, Brad, you don't want to do it this way. You want to do it this way. Your uncle will tell you, so what's up, Q? So it's just the way it unfolded. And I listened to my uncles because it was a community then. It was a village. Everybody, I would listen to them. Be like, oh, no. They know you here. You ain't supposed to be here. So, yeah. But, man, I'm going to let the people know how to get in contact with you. I'm going to go on and get out because I think it's comedy show already started. And they got some comedians coming in.
That's all good. I'm
with you, man.
On every social site. Well, on Facebook, I'm Brad Harrison. On Instagram, it's Brad the Journalist, and same thing on Twitter, it's Brad the Journalist. So look out for me. I'm always posting content. I'll definitely be getting back into the media stuff real soon, and be looking out for that Father and Son's Day that we're going to start.
And please keep staying in the media stuff because I do follow you, and I love some of the things you be putting on your page because you be educating the people. And about different things, whether it's the culture or whatever, it's just what's going on in general, So please keep doing what you're doing, because I love a lot of stuff you write on there. So and enjoy your Father's Day. Much love to you and your queen, man. And just enjoy life, man, and keep working on your self growth, man. Because even though we married men, we got to work on our self growth first and foremost. Not to say our wives can, but it's really up to us first and foremost to keep that self growth tight, so we can move on in our life as kings and be there for not only our queens but other people in the family. So, but man, it's always great to have you on here, man. That.
All good.
And man,
I appreciate it, man.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I hope your business go great too. What you're doing with your business and everything, man. And if you got anything going on with it, I can put on my page, a flyer, whatever. Send it to me through chat message, whatever, and I'll put it on my page, man. Because I'm all about trying to help people, trying to do things for other people, especially in the medical field.
Right.
So, yeah.
Happy Father's Day, man. Y'all keep it up, man. Thanks for having me on, man. Anytime, just get at me.
Okay, for sure. And one more thing. I want you to come out here to Mr. G's August 22nd. It's Big Head Light Skin Comedian Friends. I'm hosting, and I got 5 comedians, and we're going to have a ball. I'm going to put
Send me the information. I'll be there.
I'm definitely going to send you the information. I'm going to put these light skin problems on them. So yeah. So come out there. I want you to come out and enjoy it because y'all don't know if you ever see me do my stand up. I want you to come out and enjoy yourself, you and your wife. So come on out, and I'll definitely send you the information on it. But man, enjoy your day, man. Much love to you, and stay blessed up, man. Much love to you.
All right, much love to you, my man. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
That was my guest, Brad Harrison. He's a great guy. Y'all follow him on Facebook and Instagram. He got a lot of things going on with his content and everything. Glad to have him on my show. Be here. Tomorrow's my birthday, and all I'm gonna do is be old. I'm gonna be old and drink old stuff and do old things. But I'm about to truly be blessed to wake up to another birthday, and I really won't take that for granted. So, hey Samantha. So I got somebody I'm going to put on this podcast here. Hey Samantha, you do real estate, right?
I do.
You want to tell the people about your real estate on here on this podcast? Are you good? Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'll get you one time. Okay. All right. I got you. So with that said, y'all come out here August 22nd in Mr. G's. Doors open 7, show at 8. I'm expecting to sell that show. I'm expecting y'all support what we doing. Like I said, once again, I got all these great comedians. So y'all come out and support. And I got DJ Spookman as my DJ. Anything else? I've been to Louisville Comedy Club, June the 24th. Show starts at 7, doors open 6. Come out and support that. I think that's just about it. Like I said, in life, we're going to run into some things, and everything that's going on in this world, just keep pushing to be a better human being. Like I said, it's been Men's Mental Health Month. If you know somebody having some problems with mental health, talk to them. Help them out if you can. This podcast is for the people and by the people, and it is the people. So it's a very diverse podcast because I'm all about helping people. So with that said, the thing I like to talk about a lot of times on this podcast, LSI, Learn, Share, and Inspire. So them 3 things, learn, share, and inspire. So before I end this podcast, make sure you subscribe to my podcast on YouTube, BHLC Podcast, and give me a listen on Spotify. I really appreciate if y'all subscribe to me on that. What was this? I think that's just about it. I appreciate everybody tuned in. My next show is July 11th on my mother's birthday. So I'm truly going to be a special night. July 11th, I'll be right here at Mr. G's, 6 o'clock, doing my podcast, getting up a great guest. So hope y'all enjoy your day. And I try to leave with something positive. The best positive I can say to you, be yourself, and always look forward to life and being a better person, a better human being. I'm the one and only Big Head Light Skin comedian. Thank you for tuning into BHLC Podcast. You can go to my Facebook page, Big Head Light Skin Comedian LB. I edge as a friend. Like I said, go to YouTube and subscribe to my podcast, BHLC Podcast, or give me a listen on Spotify. And if you got any ideas for this podcast, hit me up on Facebook or either on YouTube. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching. I see you, Eric, Kimbrough, and Caroline. Thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate it. I'm right here at Mr. G's. They playing some 2 Short. I'm going to get my 2 Short on light skin style. So y'all come out here and support this comedy club. It's a comedy show they got here tonight. Starts at 7 o'clock. Q Smoke hosting it. Bernard Hurst, let me say his name right, is the headliner. Devin Williams, I think, is one of the comedians. I forgot the other comedian, Corey Miller. Y'all come out here, I don't know the price on it, but come out and support stand-up comedy. It's going to be a great show. Thank y'all for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm the one and only Big Head Light Skin comedian. Peace. I'm out of here. Love y'all.